And good afternoon, everybody, and welcome here as we begin our second half of the regular season in points races. We consider this the chase to the chase. However, this is the series where we actually are not going to have any chase for the championship, but nonetheless, Trucks, Mobile, and Snickers will be having chases, so we'll be getting down to the chase to the chase in those three series in the coming few days. But we're getting ready here for the Last of Us Lite series to bring out their sixth race of the season at a track that probably every driver hates to come to, because this is Thornton Speedway in Thornton, Illinois. This is the home to the Turn of Death. For those of you that are not familiar with the Turn of Death is, the Turn of Death is a 10-foot drop-off the final corner. There's no guardrail, no nothing to help save a driver from going off the edge and landing onto the beach below. A lot of drivers have been diagnosed with injuries after landing off the Turn of Death onto that beach. Hopefully we will have none here today, but we're getting ready here for what's going to be called the Risk Reward weekend, and this is the Risk Reward 200. 3 laps of racing, no cautions whatsoever. Whatever happens, happens. You just basically try to survive here today, and we'll see if that's going to be the case for these drivers as we get ready to put them underway. I believe I got to fast forward a little. Here we go. So we'll get ready to put them under the green. You saw your starting grid on the top of your screen. The reason that you saw the starting grid so early is because these drivers don't have very far to go before we go under green. And we really don't want to have the starting grid going while the drivers are currently running under race conditions. So there you see the Turn of Death there to the left of these drivers. No guardrail whatsoever, as you can see. No protection. And this track, in every other part of it, is a very dangerous track as well. You'll see it during the course of this race as Chris Louviere gets us underway. Green flag is out here in the Risk Reward 200. As you can see, not your typical kind of racetrack. Racing on city streets here and country roads. Not a track that is designated to actually be a racetrack. It is literally a city turned into a track. As Louviere takes the point, second place Ty Dent, and Austin Weiner moves into third. We're going to be looking at the rear of the field quite a bit here today to see if anybody runs into trouble, and already someone's in trouble. That's Zeke Marley in the 44, 9th in points and our winner at Bristol. So the 44 of Zeke Marley already in trouble, the first of the victims to fall prey to Thornton Raceway here today. And man, they are racing hard back here. Zachary Chambers, teammate Rohit Vidaru back here. Lisa Gonzalez and James Tyler, meanwhile, battle on for the lead up near the front. And that is Ty Dent and Austin Weiner working together there, kind of utilizing a two-car tandem, if you will. This is not a restricted plate track, but it still works on these straightaways. And Weiner and Dent working together to get by Chris Louviere. And now here comes James Shelley looking for third as the battle is still on for the lead between Austin Weiner and Ty Dent. Ty Dent comes in 19th in points, ironic. And Austin Weiner is 40th in the standings. And there's a gap back there. I wonder if more drivers didn't run into trouble here. Oh yeah, we got a couple drivers off track. That's Benjamin Miles in the 00, who does an amazing appearance trick. And I thought I saw Marion Shallrett in the 45. Indeed, that is the case. So they've run into problems, and I think Shallrett now is caught on the outside of the racetrack. She is. So this is not going to be good for the 45, trying to make her way back into the racetrack. Benjamin Miles was able to get back on track. As I said, no caution flags, though, for any incidents that take place. If you wreck, you got to try and rebound and salvage what you can. So Weiner is the leader. Second place now is Ty Dent. Lisa Gonzalez actually trying to draft there with the 19, as they're working against the 9 of James Shelley. Jump back to that battle. Shelley actually going to use this turn's inside line to take over the second position. And this is a treacherous part of the racetrack right here, too. A lot of drivers seem to overdrive that corner and get into that little wall there in the medium between this racing area and an area that actually is legit highway over there. You can see haulers and buses and cars going down that portion of the track, and not exactly sure why they don't stop traffic during race time. Last thing you want is to be driving down the interstate and a spun out race car spins right in front of you, and you totally wreck your car and everything, and yeah. But I think that spin between Benjamin Miles and Marion Charlotte might have very well broken up the field quite a bit, because I'm looking back there and I think we've only got about 25, maybe 28 cars in this lead pack. So we'll see if anybody else is running trouble. Oh, Amadou Diallo is in trouble in the 11. Luis Hernandez, I believe. No, that's Kyle Sosnowski and Kayla Schmidt. They're on pit road as well, and so is Lyndon Wright. That's actually the points leader, Lyndon Wright, on pit road. Amadou Diallo comes in 4th in the point standings. And we've already had Zeke Marley 9th in points get involved, so 3 drivers inside the top 10 in points coming into this race have been involved in something. This is also a very treacherous part of the track here, as you just saw Austin Weiner get into that steel guardrail there. I don't know if he got any damage or not, though. And we're moving here to our TV1 camera at this point, folks, because we're coming around here into the final corners, and we're coming to the turn of death. Is anybody going to fall off of it? Certainly hope not. Already drivers have encountered problems today. As they come off this corner, Lisa Gonzalez is off! Oh, Ty Dench with a save! And now there's a dust cloud there. But Lisa Gonzalez has fallen off the turn of death. Oh my goodness, Lisa Gonzalez in the 88. There she is down on the beach below. But as I said, no caution flags whatsoever. So we're going to move up here, I believe. James Shelley is the current leader, and indeed he is. So as James Shelley leads the way here right now, we're going to quickly see if we can take a moment to go back, take a look at a couple of replays of what just happened. We're on the beginning of the second lap here of 3. And we'll quickly try and jump back, see especially the drivers that came in running well in points. Lyndon Wright, Amadou Diallo, and Zeke Marley, what happened to them, as well as Lisa Gonzalez falling off the turn of death. Well, as you can see here, Zeke Marley ends up running off course in one of the first corners of this track. Goes down through the little neighborhood there, clipping through houses and whatnot. But then watch this. This is the interesting part, because you can see there's Luis Hernandez, there's Amadou Diallo, there's Corey Williams. That's the last of the field. Zeke Marley could have easily merged in with these drivers, but instead kind of runs with 2 tires on the grass up on the curb. Never came back down to the racing surface, and then, bam, head on into the beginning of that steel guardrail, and then slides over and slams the other one. That's a hard impact for the 44, but I don't really understand why Zeke was still running there on the curb when she had plenty of racetrack to be able to go over onto the racing surface. But that's what happened to the 44, and this could drop Zeke Marley outside of the top 10 in points. Remember that treacherous turn I told you about coming onto the highway here? Well, this is what happened. The points leader, actually the one to start this wreck, turns Austin Mongold. They both go down and get the wall, and then right there, Lyndon Wright's going to nail that safer barrier up into Kayla Schmidt. Tony Blaiser, second in points, actually was involved as well. There you see Jason Trost to know where to go. He's going to turn right in front of the 11 of Amadou Diallo. That's how Diallo gets his damage. And I don't think it's over. I think there's still more wrecking up here. Oh, wow. Look at the 15 barrel rolling. He's going to get the hit from Kyle Sosnowski. And Amadou, let's see, I'm going to find out, did Amadou get any more damage? Because the 11 car doesn't look like he's really that damaged, yet he had to teleport to pit road. Does he end up hitting the 15 as well, or what goes on here? Corey Williams gets into the back of him, and I wonder if maybe because the 15 was stuck there, if Amadou may have actually had to teleport to pit road as well. If that is, that's a tough break for Amadou, who really wasn't really damaged as a result. Oh man, I think that's what happened. I think he had to teleport because his car was absolutely stopped. Either that or it stalled out on him. Because you see Corey Williams was able to keep going. Amadou was not. I think he stalled the car and couldn't get it back going. Oh, that's a tough break there for Amadou Diallo if that's the case. Oh my goodness. So that's what happened there to first, second, and fourth in points, because we now find out Tony Blaiser got a piece of it. Now let's see what happened to Lisa Gonzalez. Well, I can't tell you how many times I see drivers fall off the turn of death in these races when they're battling for the lead. This was for the lead between James Shelley and Lisa Gonzalez, and you just see there, it's not really that James Shelley moved Lisa Gonzalez over there, it's just Gonzalez was riding the corner way too wide, and there you can see begins the fall down that huge precipice down to the beach below. Car actually scrapes the cliff there a little bit with both the rear and the front of the car. Fortunately lands on all four wheels. I can't tell you how many times I've seen drivers land on their roofs. Then the car actually does barrel roll onto its roof, and then finally back onto all four wheels, and then begins barrel rolling on the beach. That's a tough break for Lisa Gonzalez. 13th in points she came in. A lot of drivers running well in the points have gotten some hard licks here early on. And we saw Ty Dent almost become candidate number 2 for falling off the turn of death, but he was able to hang on. Let's head back now for the continuation of this race. And the battle for the lead continues to rage on. James Shelley now under fire from Austin Weiner in the 36. Roy Vidaru, Ty Dent battling back there for the 3rd position. And then running now in 5th. Actually, it's a good battle going on here. Chris Louvier, Matt Olsener, and Aaron Henderson. That coming into today's race is actually 29th, 35th, and 21st in points. So a lot of drivers, like we said, having difficulty here that were running well in the points. A lot of drivers not doing so well in the points, doing pretty well here. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe last week's winner is up here, now inside the top 10. There's Nick Pericles, currently in the 8th position. Pericles, our winner last time out at Richmond. And that actually moved Nick Pericles up to the 14th position in points. So he could move into the top 10 in points here with maybe 2 straight weeks of good finishes. As James Shelley now has taken full control of the lead, we move to our TV1 camera because they are coming to the turn of death once again. This will be the 2nd time they will come to the treacherous turn of death, and will anybody fall off this time? Lisa Gonzalez fell off last time. This time, will there be any candidates? I certainly hope not. Let's hope they can all save it. All single file there between the top 7 or so. That's very smart to get single file if you can. Whoa, one of the Red Bull cars getting close there. I think that was Alex Tanker in the 83. It looks like everybody's going to be single file coming off this corner, which means that more than likely we will not have anyone fall off the turn of death. That was the smartest thing these drivers could do. There's Austin Mongold in the 84. We know he had contact with Lyndon Wright. Let's actually start with him and look on back, see if anybody else is still running this in trouble. There you see Lyndon Wright, Sosnowski, Kayla Schmidt, Zeke Marley, Amadou Diallo, Benjamin Miles, who was able to make his way back on track. He's still running. Let's see where he crossed the stripe, and he was 32nd last time around. And after the troubles that took place, he is just moved up a spot to 31st. Carter Fargo also apparently has had some problems, because he's all the way back here, now in the 32nd place. There is Zachary Chambers. He's also way back. Don't know what happened to him in the 48. That's 7th in points, and Marion Shallred has actually found her way back on track, so looks like, for the most part, the drivers that may be DNFing from this race are Lisa Gonzalez, Tony Blaiser. Where's Blaiser? Is Blaiser still running? I didn't see him on pit road. Oh, he's out of the race. Tony Blaiser has already retired. So, Lisa Gonzalez, Tony Blaiser, Kyle Sosnowski, Jason Trost, Zeke Marley, Lyndon Wright, Kayla Schmidt, and Amadou Diallo. Looks like those are the drivers right now that would be out of the race. A total of 8 drivers at the current moment. And by the way, when they came around the last time, the white flag was actually displayed. This is the final lap, believe it or not. Very short race here as we're accustomed to Thornton, but we'll be having some 5-lap events coming up near the end of the weekend. But for the Last of Us Lite series, it's just that, a Lite series, so they don't run nearly the number of scheduled laps they would in an Oreo Mobile or Snickers Cup Series event. But right now, Everham Motorsports up here 1-2 at the current moment. James Shelley in the 9, Ty Dent in the 19. But Austin Weiner right there trying to spoil the party. We saw him get the steel guardrail off one of the final corners, but you can see the ripple on the 36 has not really affected him. 25 of Rohit Vidaru up here now. Louvier, Aaron Henderson's in this mix now as well. Don't count these guys out, because this could very quickly turn into the favor of somebody. As just see right there, Ty Dent has taken the lead. This is not a restrictor plate track, but you gotta wonder, if the 9 may play some defense for the 19. However, why would he when the 19 just bypassed his teammate? Here he comes back to the inside, comes James Shelley. Not the first time we've seen it at a road course. Dodge teammates, not work together. I think back to Season 7 of the Snickers Cup Series at Champs-Élysées when it was Joshua Collard in the 43 and Harrison Lankford in the 45. Teammates out of Petty Enterprises battling for the win there. They weren't willing to work with each other, and we're seeing the same thing right now. James Shelley now gets back around his teammate Ty Dent. Austin Weiner now going to move to second, but here comes Rohit Arbu for a battle 3 wide for second place. And it looks like right now it's going to be 7 drivers up in this lead pack to possibly settle it out. Shelley, Austin Weiner, Ty Dent, Rohit Arbu, Chris Louvier, Aaron Henderson, and Matt Olsner. 8th place Nick Pericles is really nowhere to be seen. Oh, here comes Austin Weiner. Last-ditch attempt trying to rim ride on the high side, but he may get the guardrail. He does. That's going to allow Shelley to get away. Ty Dent moves on to the high side now for second place, trying to make it a 1-2 finish for Abraham Motorsports. We've got to move to our TV2 camera because this is the final time they're coming to the turn of death. This could really come into play onto who's going to leave with a good finish or who's going to end up wrecked because the turn of death is just before the start-finish line. But James Shelley comes off the final corner. He survives, but there goes Weiner and Olsner! Stereo off the turn of death. And that's going to cost them some good finishes here today. Looks like everybody else is going to make it. Oh, man, James Tyler was close. But James Shelley has crossed the stripe, and James Shelley is going to win here. The risk reward, 200 at Thornton. But Austin Weiner and Matt Olsner, who both were en route to top 10 finishes today, just like that, it's gone. They've gone off the turn of death. And the turn of death already this weekend has claimed 3 victims, Lisa Gonzalez and now Olsner and Weiner. And what a tough break for both the 07 and 36. Olsner came in 35th in points. Weiner came in 40th. They were looking for good runs today to move themselves up in points. It's not going to happen. The turn of death bites them at the very end. And look at there. Ty Dent's going to finish in second. Abraham Motorsports is going to pick up a 1-2 finish here at Thornton. And Dodge goes to victory lane for the second straight time. Nick Pericles went to victory lane at Richmond last time out. As a matter of fact, I believe Dodge has 4 of the top 5 finishing spots. Louvier gets it 3rd place, and then Nick Pericles, nope, he didn't get 5th. It was Arbu, so okay, I was wrong in that. Aaron Henderson gets 4th, Arbu gets 5th, 6th was Nick Pericles, 7th place was Skyla Johnson. Didn't talk much about her. We haven't really talked much about Skyla Johnson since she rolled the dice, got that runner-up finish at Talladega a few weeks ago. Nick Barney's going to finish in 8th. Nice run for the guy who comes in 3rd in points. That could be the new points leader right there. After we saw Tony Blaiser and Lyndon Wright DNF from this race, Barney only came into this race 4 points out. He could be taking over the points lead. 9th place for Kyle Thomas. Great run for him. And Morgan Grempler, 6th in points, is going to finish the day out in the top 10. But what a race. And there you see, nose to tail, the 1-2 finishers for Abraham Motorsports as James Shelley picks up his first win of his NNSCRA career here at Thornton. We still got Trucks Mobile and Snickers Cup Series action coming your way here from Thornton Speedway. It's going to certainly be a wild weekend as we continue to see who will survive the turn of death. Already 3 victims, as I said here today, have fallen prey to the 20-foot drop. Well, folks, we hope that you enjoyed today's race here from Thornton. Be sure to give this video a like, subscribe, become part of the crew today. Be sure to follow the NNSCRA, which is now not only on Twitter, but also has a Facebook page. And you can find the link to that Facebook page in the description. And we will now show you your official finishing results, overall point stands, looking into our next event, which memory is not serving me correctly as to where we're going. But nonetheless, I do know we still have to finish out this race weekend here from Thornton. So hope you guys enjoyed this event, and we will see you guys next time as you've been watching a production of the NNSCRA Offline Racing at its best. James Shelley wins at Thornton.